Good morning, friends. Welcome to my BioBooster channel. Myself, Dr. Abasayab Nalawade. In the previous video, we have started with data per respiration and energy transfer. In this respiration and energy transfer, we have dealt with the glycolysis, TCA cycle or Krebs cycle, and electron transport system. Now, we are proceeding towards the respiratory quotient, then differences between photosynthesis and respiration, as well as significance of respiration. Then firstly we shall proceed toward the respiratory quotient. Respiratory quotient, it is the ratio of CO2 released in the respiration to the oxygen absorbed. So ratio of volume of CO2 released to the volume of oxygen absorbed in the respiration is called as respiratory quotient. Here RQ is equal to volume of CO2 released, how much volume of the CO2 is released, to the how much volume of oxygen is consumed in the process of respiration. This is called as respiratory quotient. When carbohydrate, this respiratory quotient depends upon the substrate which is used in the process of respiration. When carbohydrates are utilized as a respiratory substrate and are completely oxidized, when carbohydrates are used and when they are completely oxidized, the respiratory quotient is always 1, because volume of CO2 released is equal to the volume of oxygen consumed. For example, if you see the equation of a respiration, C6H12O6 plus 6O2, 6 molecules of O2, these are consumed or absorbed, 6 molecules of CO2, these are released. That is, here 6 divided by 6, that is equal to 1. So in this way, when carbohydrates are utilized in the process of respiration and if these are completely oxidized, respiratory quotient is always 1. Here you can see that if you see the equation of respiration, C6H12O6 plus 6 molecules of oxygen are consumed, 6 molecules of CO2 are released. So 6 divided by 6, that is equal to 1. Thus, when carbohydrates are utilized in the process of respiration and if these are completely oxidized, RQ is always 1. When fats and proteins, these are used, respiratory quotient is always less than 1. RQ is less than 1, as the volume of CO2 evolved is always less than the volume of oxygen absorbed. It means that here RQ is equal to CO2 released divided by oxygen absorbed. In case of proteins and fats, these are deficient in oxygen. That's why they absorb more oxygen as compared to that of release of CO2. Here, when fats and proteins are used as a substrate, RQ is always than 1, as volume of CO2 evolved, this is always less than the oxygen absorbed. For example, suppose it is 6 and at this place it is 10. Means 6 molecules of CO2 these are released and 10 molecules of oxygen these are absorbed, and that's why this will be RQ will be less than 1, because these are proteins and fats, these are deficient, they are having less amount of oxygen. That's why they are using more amount of oxygen in the process of respiration, and that's why RQ is always less than 1. Mostly for fats, RQ is about 0.7. In case of when the fats are utilized in the process of respiration, RQ is about 0.7, and when proteins are used as a substrate in the process of respiration, RQ is 0.9. Means fats 0.7, proteins 0.9, carbohydrates 1. In anaerobic respiration, you will see that RQ is always infinity, as CO2 is evolved without taking oxygen. Here you can see that in case of fermentation or in case of anaerobic respiration, RQ is always infinity, because this CO2 is released. Here RQ is equal to CO2 is released, but no oxygen is absorbed. Here no oxygen is absorbed, and that's why in anaerobic respiration or fermentation, RQ is always infinity as CO2 is evolved. CO2 is evolved in the process of anaerobic respiration, but without taking oxygen. Oxygen is not taken inside, and that's why RQ is always infinity. Then we shall proceed towards the significance of respiration. Here respiration, we know that this provides the energy. This releases the energy. The energy which is present in the carbohydrates in the chemical form. This is transferred to the, or this is released in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP. We have seen that 38 ATP molecules are produced when one glucose molecule is utilized in the aerobic respiration. Respiration provides the energy. For what? This energy is utilized for biosynthesis of cellular materials such as carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins and pigments. For the synthesis of carbohydrates, proteins, for the synthesis of lipids, vitamins and pigments, energy is required, and this energy, it is supplied by the process of respiration. It is also a source of energy. This is also a source of energy for various processes. For example, for cell division, energy is required. For growth, for repair, for replacement of worn out parts, movement and locomotion. For all these activities or all these processes in the plants, energy is required, and this energy is supplied by the process of respiration. Various intermediate compounds of Krebs cycle. We have seen that in the Krebs cycle, various organic acids are produced. Oxaloacetic acid, alpha-ketoglutarate acid, so then malic acid. So all these organic acids are produced in the Krebs cycle, we have seen. And these organic compounds, these are used as building blocks for the synthesis of other compounds. Means these compounds, these organic acid, these are used for the biosynthesis of other complex organic compounds. Means these are acting as building blocks. If you see the significance of respiration, respiration provides the energy for biosynthesis, for the synthesis of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins and pigments. It is also a source of energy for various activities of the plants. For example, for cell division, growth, repair and replacement of worn out parts, movement and locomotion. For all these activities, energy is required, and this energy is supplied by the process of respiration. Various intermediate products of Krebs cycle, alpha-ketoglutarate, oxaloacetate, malate, etc. All these organic acids, these are very important. These are the building blocks for the biosynthesis of other complex organic compounds. Then the next point, this respiration maintains the balance between CO2 and H2O in the atmosphere. Here, respiration and photosynthesis both. In the photosynthesis as well as the respiration, both are useful to maintain the balance between CO2 and oxygen in the atmosphere. Means concentration of CO2, concentration of oxygen, these are maintained in the atmosphere by the process of photosynthesis as well as respiration. Anaerobic respiration, that is fermentation. This is used in various industries, like these are used in the dairies for fermentation, in the bakeries, in the distilleries, in the leather industries, as well as in the paper industries. Means the process of fermentation, process of anaerobic respiration, this is used in the various industrial, for the formation of industrial products, in the industries like dairies, milk dairies, bakeries, distilleries, in the leather industries, paper industries, etc. It is used in the commercial production of alcohol, alcoholic fermentation, then organic acids fermentation, vitamins and antibiotics. Here in the commercial production of alcohol, various organic acids, acetic acid, etc. For the vitamins, for the synthesis of, for the production of antibiotics, this respiration or anaerobic respiration is used. So in the anaerobic respiration, alcohol, organic acids, vitamins and antibiotics, these are produced. Energy for respiration is used to convert insoluble substances into soluble substances. By using the energy of respiration, by using the energy present in the adenosine triphosphate, this is utilized for the conversion of insoluble substances into the soluble forms. So this is the equation of respiration: C6H12O6 plus 6O2, 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy. So the very important thing is that it is the energy generating process. In the respiration, you can see that organic or complex organic compounds are converted into simplest compounds. If you consider the example, glucose. Glucose is used in the process of respiration. This glucose is converted into simplest compound, that is CO2 and H2. That's why it is a breakdown process. So respiration is a catabolic process where complex organic compounds, these are converted into the simple compounds, and in this process energy is released. So respiration maintains the balance between respiration as well as photosynthesis. These are maintaining the balance between CO2 and O2 in the atmosphere. Anaerobic respiration or fermentation, it is used in the various industries like dairies, bakeries, distilleries, leather industry, paper industry. It is used in the commercial production of various industrial products like alcohol, organic acids, vitamins and antibiotics. Energy of respiration is used for the conversion of insoluble substances into the soluble forms, into the soluble compounds. This is the significance of respiration. Now we shall proceed towards the comparison or differences between photosynthesis and respiration. Here photosynthesis is energy trapping process. In the process of photosynthesis, light energy is absorbed. Light energy is converted into the chemical energy in the form of carbohydrates. Means physical form of the energy, light energy, it is converted into the chemical form of the energy in the process of photosynthesis. So it is an energy trapping process. This traps the sunlight energy. Respiration is an energy releasing process. In the process of respiration, energy present in the carbohydrates, this is released in the form of adenosine triphosphate. Here energy is trapped, sunlight energy is trapped. Here energy present in the carbohydrates or the organic compounds, this is released in the process of respiration. This is the first difference. The second difference is that end products of photosynthesis are glucose and oxygen. In the process of photosynthesis, we have seen that carbohydrates are synthesized in the form of glucose and oxygen is released. End products of aerobic respiration are CO2 and H2O. Here end products of the respiration are CO2 and H2O. These are the end products. End products of anaerobic respiration. These are the end products of aerobic respiration. End products of anaerobic respiration or the fermentation. These are lactic acid, ethyl alcohol, ethanol and CO2. In the anaerobic respiration, in the fermentation process, if there is a lactic acid fermentation, lactic acid and CO2 are produced. If it is the alcoholic fermentation, ethanol and CO2 are the products. This is the second difference. The third difference is that photosynthesis takes place only in green plants. Photosynthetic process, this is performed by only green cells where there are photosynthetic pigments. So photosynthesis takes place only in the green cells because there are photosynthetic pigments. While respiration takes place in all the cells, in all the living cells, whether these are green or non-green. In all the cells, in all the living cells, this process of respiration occurs because these living cells, they require the energy for various metabolic activities. So photosynthesis takes place only in the green cells. Then respiration takes place in all the living cells. The next difference is raw material required for photosynthesis are CO2 and H2. If you see the equation of photosynthesis, you will see that 6 CO2 plus 12 H2, there is formation of C6H12O6, that is glucose molecule. Here, these are the raw materials. CO2 and H2 are used as substrates in the process of photosynthesis, where CO2 is reduced and H2O is oxidized. Raw materials required in the respiration, these are glucose and oxygen. So glucose molecule, with the help of oxygen, it is oxidized into simplest compounds, and there is formation of simplest molecules, that is CO2 and H2O. So here raw materials required for the respiration, these are glucose and oxygen. If you see this equation, you will see that here this is the glucose, this is the oxygen, these are the raw materials used in the process of respiration, where CO2 and H2O, these are the products. The next difference between the photosynthesis and respiration is it takes place only in the chloroplast. It takes place only in the chloroplast, because chloroplast is having photosynthetic pigments, and that's why it only takes place in the chloroplast, while this respiration takes place in the mitochondria. Means some steps of respiration we have seen, they are taking place in the mitochondria, some steps are taking place in the cytoplasm. We have seen that glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm, while Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, this takes place in the mitochondria. Electron transport system, it operates in the inner membrane of mitochondria. Thus, respiration takes place in the mitochondria and cytoplasm. The next difference is it involves synthesis of complex organic molecules, so it is an anabolic process. If you see the equation of photosynthesis, you will see that here in this case, you can see from simplest compound, that is CO2 and H2, complex organic compounds are produced. This is the glucose, H2, CO2. From these complex or simplest organic compounds, complex organic compounds are formed. So in this, it is a synthetic process. This is called as anabolic process. While the respiration involves breakdown of glucose, breakdown of organic compounds, complex organic molecules into the simple inorganic substances, that is C6H12O6, that is a glucose. This glucose is broken down into CO2 and H2, that is simplest compounds. So it is a catabolic process. Anabolic process means building up process. Catabolic process, this is the breakdown process. So photosynthesis is anabolic, respiration is catabolic. The next difference is photosynthesis is light dependent. Photosynthesis only takes place in presence of light, because light energy, this is a physical form of the energy, it is converted into the chemical form of the energy. So light is the only source of energy for the process of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is light dependent, while this respiration takes place in presence of light or absence of light. It takes place in presence of light. It also takes place in absence of light. Means it is light independent. But this photosynthesis only occurs in the presence of light. In the process of photosynthesis, dry weight of the plant is increased, because glucose and then other organic compounds are synthesized, and that's why dry weight of the plant increases. While in the process of respiration, this is anabolic process, means building up process. In this process, complex organic compounds are synthesized, carbohydrates are synthesized, so dry weight increases. Here, these organic compounds are the carbohydrates, these are broken down into simplest compound. So it is a catabolic process, and that's why there is a decrease in dry weight. Dry weight decreases because complex organic compounds are converted into simple organic compounds. So these are the differences. Fifth difference is photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. It takes place in the mitochondria and cytoplasm. It involves the synthesis of complex organic compounds, so it is an anabolic process. It involves the breakdown of complex organic compounds, so it is a catabolic process. Photosynthesis is light dependent, while respiration is light independent. And the last point is, eighth point, dry weight of the plant increases because organic compounds are synthesized. Dry weight of the plant decreases in the process of respiration because complex organic compounds are broken down into simplest compounds. That's why dry weight decreases. So this is about the respiration. Here we have completed this chapter of respiration, where we have seen the various steps of respiration: glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, Krebs cycle, electron transport system, and respiratory quotient. We have also dealt with the differences between photosynthesis and respiration. मित्रहो, आपणास हा व्हिडिओ आवडला असेल तर कृपया लाईक करा, शेअर करा आणि सबस्क्राईब करा. धन्यवाद.